Hey, good evening ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hashtasche and Skyffectuate has been released, so I don't see any reason not to talk in my teaser videos anymore. And also, back in the day I quite enjoyed a mapmaking series by a YouTuber named Traslander, also mapmaker. And he went over a lot of technical stuff, tried to figure out solutions to problems, which is what I also do. And I really enjoyed it, and there's not a lot of people doing that in an enjoyable way on YouTube, so I want to try. So, Skyffectuate. This is my base map, where I figured out most of the redstone. In case you wonder what this is all the game redstone. At the bottom here we also have the same redstone, just in an unorganized manner. And a bunch of random stuff all over the place. But it's fine. So, Skyffectuate, what are we going to do now with that map? Well, I want to work on the next big update. And I already have a little bit. Which is going to introduce seasons, and first of all we might need to go over the reasoning for that. So why would I add seasons? Well, first of all because I can, but that's not the main reason. And it's also a challenge, which is also a big reason for me. But the main reason originated from these guys here, cauldrons. Because currently, for the foreseeable future, this will be your way to get water. Cauldrons fill up with rain in Skyffectuate. That's your way to get your water, because you don't start out with water. But it's a very frustrating mechanic, because rain is inherently random in Minecraft. So, first of all, I thought, hey, just make a custom weather system so rain is more constant. But then I thought, hey, people will get annoyed. What if I did it differently? If I add seasons and people just start in summer, there's little rain in summer, and then eventually after an hour of gameplay or more, it switches over to autumn, and in autumn it rains most of the time because it's autumn. And that would be great, because that is roughly at the time where you get your first cauldron, so it's pretty good. Then I remembered, hey, I also need a way to add snow. So another big reason for seasons, because if we can make it snowing in the winter, we got our way to get snow and ice. If we can make water freeze in the winter, which I still need to figure out how to do that effectively. But that's why we make this series and why I will try to do that stuff. So as I said, I already did some work. This music is going to stop, right? Oh no, still listenable here. So over here we got my current season system, and this is just the skeleton of it. So it looks intimidating, but it's actually not that intimidating. Over here we got a control circuit, and here we have basically the same circuit 4 times, more or less. And this is summer, this is autumn, winter, and spring. So on the right you see a bunch of stuff happening. That's from my custom weather system. I'm not sure if I want to explain all of this, but let's explain this at least. So the weather timer times. Currently it's set to do stuff every 3 seconds, which is 60 ticks. We do 59 here because it takes a tick for this comparator to activate. And what it does then is take a random number or create like a random thing here. And there's a 2 to 1 chance that it increases the weather counter on the right. And the rest of the chance. There's a 2 in 3 chance. That is probably better. That it increases the weather counter, and 1 in 3 that it decreases by 1. So what does the weather counter do? Well, it controls the weather indirectly. Because in our seasons fill clock here, we can do stuff when we detect certain weather counter values. So in summer here, between 0 and 29, clear weather. Between 30 and 34, it's rain. And 35 and 40, basically as soon as it gets to 35, it resets back to 0. So this way in summer there's very little rain, and usually it doesn't last very long. Keep in mind though that the weather timer is just so short for testing purposes. In the end it's going to be like 30 seconds or 20 instead of 3. So this way weather is still random, but because this is a 2 in 3 chance that it increases the counter, eventually you're going to see rain. Because, I mean, in theory you could end up for infinity without rain. But it's extremely unlikely. But it's possible, but that's the basis for an inherently random system. There's to be a way for something to never happen. In the end, though, it's way less random than in Minecraft, obviously, and once I set this time to 20 seconds, it's going to rain like every 20 minutes. Or there's a 50% chance that within 20 minutes you have seen rain. This is like a probability curve with a median and stuff. But if you play for 40 summers, for example, you might see a summer where it doesn't rain at all, or you might see a summer where it rains all the time. It is possible, although extremely unlikely. Anyways, there's a bunch of different stuff here that does different stuff. Like end this season, for example, and switch over to the next one. I don't want to go into too much detail here, because I'm pretty sure you're all, like, worried or interested in what I do in winter. But just for the sake of it, let's go through autumn really quick. 0 to 26 is rain. 27 to 30 is thunder. And then we got 30 to 35 is clear. So in autumn, it rains way more than it is clear. And there's a chance for thunderstorms and stuff. So the great thing about this system is that it's extremely simple, and simple systems are great because they are simple and they are easy to tweak. So if I think, hey, there should be a little bit less rain in summer, I can just punch in some different numbers here and I'm done. And before that, I had a way more complicated and sophisticated system, but this is nice enough and close enough to how rain potentially works, especially with a median probability and stuff. So anyways, summer, autumn, and spring, really easy because it just rains and it's clear at specific times. But what happens in winter? First of all, let's TP somewhere. 1064.0. See where we end up, okay. Then we can set the season. Let's go about players. Set to something else. So at the moment it's summer, it's 1, 2 is autumn. Oh, I need to enter a player. Season effects. Okay. So now it's autumn. You don't see any difference except that it cleared, because in this time on the weather counter in autumn it's clear. Then let's switch to winter. And you see it doesn't rain, but it will eventually once this timer reaches 35, which it might not ever. We might be sitting here talking for a long time. It decreased again. This is incredibly improbable, but it's inherently random. So what we can do, we can just set the timer. Let's go about players. Set. By the time I type this in, it might already be at 35. Weather counter, weather effects, 35. And we get snow. So right now, it's only a particle effect, or is it? Or does it really snow? Maybe it does. There's a snow block there. There's a snow block there. So eventually we will see more snow blocks. At the moment, this system isn't really super sophisticated, how it places the snow blocks. But it's a super random pattern. The placement is not really random though. Like where it places is random, but it tries to place 2 every 10 seconds. And I might even keep it at that because it's simple and easy. But there's a couple of issues here. I mean, this is obviously no real snow, because you cannot do something like weather snow in Minecraft. Doesn't work that way. Snow is depending on this, not season, on the biome you're in and the height you're at. And basically when it rains, it snows if you're in a specific biome or over a specific height. And so we somehow need to emulate snow, because we can't send people to another biome. We could potentially do something complicated like mirror the whole world and mirror it somewhere in Taiga, so we just teleport them over when winter begins and teleport them back and then mirror the world back. But it's extremely complicated. leads to a whole ton of issues and problems, and it's incredibly laggy because you need to copy the whole world. So instead I opted for this. And I mean, it so far it's good enough, I guess. But what issues are there? Well, first and foremost, it's not really a superb issue, but these are not actual snow particles, right? Because for some reason, we have this particle command in Minecraft, but for some reason you cannot display the particles that get displayed when it rains or thunders or snows. You cannot display those actual particles. So instead, those snow particles, which now stop because weather counter, those snow particles are actually the particles when you dig up snow with a shovel. It's like severely weird. But yeah, Mojang's decision to not allow us to display those particles. We also can't display how long particles display, so these are going to despawn after a set time, which is a problem, because when you're under a roof here, let's build a quick and dirty roof, you will notice, hey, this is great, it doesn't snow inside. Like I'm here, it doesn't snow inside because the snow particles land on here. The problem though is that they are not super high, they are like 6 blocks above me. So if we have a roof here, you will see that it snows inside. Is this a problem? Not really, right? I mean, most people, I guess when you're in a house, like in a full-blown house and you have a ceiling like that, you will probably notice it. But if you have built something, I'm sorry, if you build like a mob system there and people run around here, they won't go, what the heck just happened? What? This doesn't make any sense. It just snowed on that mob system. What? Like people won't notice it. It's a video game. So it's video game behavior, I guess. Question is, can we fix this? Answer is yes, but no. I had an idea to fix it. I didn't even bother trying because I ran into a bunch of problems. There's this command, spread players. By the way, in case you wonder how the snow works, I summon falling sand that looks like snow, or that is snow, like way up in the sky, 255 blocks up, and then use spread players to randomize the pattern. And it just puts the snow on the highest block in the world where it ends up. Like, instead of spreading snow here, it spreads the snow up there, because that's how spread players work. Or spread players. Like spread players. The reason it does this is because it's for PvP games to randomize spawn points, so you don't want to end up in a cave. And it's kind of nice. It would be also nice if we have it an option to enable that. We could spread players into caves, but mapmaking features, who implements them? We need dual wielding. There's a bunch of more stuff that is really dumb. For example, I do a spread distance range, respect teams false, then I map my player, I do a target selector. But what if I want to do type? Creeper. I cannot tab complete this. For some reason, I don't know why, because if you summon an entity, you can tab complete the type of entity, like creeper. Like if I enter CR here, I can do creeper. And like if you have a command block, you cannot tab complete at all. Why not? What is the problem? Why not make map making like convenient so you don't have to use third-party tools all the time? Like 90% of my command blocks I write up in Notepad++, because it's way more convenient. You have tab complete for everything. It's really easy. You see all of your command block code at the same time, whereas in Minecraft you have to actually click on the command block for some reason. I mean, it could just display the command above the command block when you look at the command block. Why not? I don't know, because we need dual wielding. Anyways, so spread players is nice, because it could also be used to display this particle effect up here. Because if I'm in a building, and at the moment I display particle effects above players, but what if I summon an armor stand, teleport that on me, and do spread players? Because if I do... Darn it. If I do spread players, what is the command? Spread distance 0, max range 1. At all. The armor stand will end up here, which means the particle effect ends up here, which means no snow in my building. Great idea. The problem with that though is that spread players spreads to the highest block in the world, which means if you're falling, for example, or if I'm here and falling, the snow particle effect will only appear down there, because that's where the armor stand will end up with spread players. If I'm shifting over an edge, armor stand gets spread played down there, particle effect down there. So it doesn't really work. It also has the huge issue of not really working in multiplayer, unless you track every player and have a specific armor stand per player. Whereas here I can just sum the particle effect above everyone. So let's teleport back. 641,000, I think. I didn't start my timer. I wanted to start a timer because otherwise I will go on talking for 4 hours and I can't upload a 4-hour video. So this is not without issues. First of all, it can rain in buildings if your ceiling is high enough. It can rain. It can snow in buildings if your ceiling is high enough. But probably not worth it fixing that. Maybe eventually, but it's not a big deal really. The other issue is if you have another player. So imagine our zombie pigman is another player. And you display a particle effect over him, you will see 2 particle effects. I mean, it's not really noticeable all that much if I'm down here, right? Because my particle effect is in the way. But if you're like a little bit higher than the other player, it looks weird because suddenly particles end up spawning down there, which is kind of weird. But then again, multiplayer is not my focus with this map, so probably not bothering to fix that. So anyways, this is our particle effect. And this is our summon falling sand disguised as snow, then spread players falling sand. This has a little bit of a problem, but I don't think I will fix that. Theoretically, if you put a falling sand or shoot one with a TNT cannon to Y255 and it's winter and it's snowing, it would get spread. I could prevent that by I'm sorry, adding a scoreboard value to the falling sand bar. Why? Like it's something that will probably never happen, and if it does, I might do that. But it's 2 more command blocks, so why? Anyways, that's everything I have for the weather and season system right now. I mean, I also have functionality to switch season based on how long they have been going on for. Or switch seasons automatically. So in case you wonder, seasons are going to last between 3.5 and roughly 6 or 7 days, like Minecraft days. So not too long, but not too short. And it's going to be randomized. So for example, summer in the current setup here can last between 4.6 days and 6.6 days. And it's random whether it chooses 4.6, 5.6 or 6.6. Because I think it's nice if you don't know exactly which season is going to start, especially if we have gameplay mechanics that are based on seasons. Like if you can only breed cows in a specific season. Or if you should get some saplings in preparation for autumn because all the leaves are going to decay on the trees. It's going to be nice if it's random and people can't like super accurately plan for that. They just have to plan for it and not look at a chart and say, hey, oh, I have 20 more minutes until autumn hits. Because that's incredibly gamey, and incredibly gamey sucks. Okay. Let me quickly check on the length of this segment so I can start a timer and talk more about snow, because we need to do something with the snow still. We are already at 19 minutes, which is insane, and I just talked and showed stuff. I didn't actually do anything yet. But what are we going to do? We are going to come up with a system that melts snow, because we need to melt the snow. Like, if your whole world is like covered in snow after one winter, it's annoying if it stays for like summer and stuff, and it makes sense if snow melts. Also means you need to farm snow in the winter. And that's a cool gameplay mechanic, I think. Could turn out nice. So how do you remove snow? Well, I don't know yet, but what I want to do is... I mean, we could use some falling sand stuff that replaces the snow, but it's... I'm not sure if it's a good system. But we need to somehow randomize. I'm not sure if you can even replace it. Let's try that. Summon falling sand. Block. Minecraft snow layer. I know that in the past, if you had the same data value, or actually a different data value, I think. Now let's do 1. And a time of 0, it would delete the thing you dropped the falling sand on. Or you spawned the falling sand in. The reason it does that is because it's a really lazy... Why doesn't it spawn snow layer? Minecraft? Snow layer. What? Oh, I need coordinates. Drop item? 0. I'm sorry. Okay. In the past, this deleted like stuff because to fix sand generators. Anyways, now it doesn't delete stuff, it overwrites it. Maybe it was the same data value. But no, this also doesn't do stuff. Okay. Does it do something? We have time set to 1. Yes and no. Like this is still here, it just disappeared from my client, right? Because this jiggles me. And it's the twice no layer. Yeah. So it does not. Easy way to test that is get a shovel. Yeah, I have a shovel. And do this. Wait, where was it? There. And permanently I punch through it. Does this even work? Yeah. Huh, that's kind of weird. Anyway, so snow doesn't work. So, what if we had an animation? Would be kind of nice. Because, actually let's try over somewhere else. Oh, now it's going to put snow on all my command blocks. This is why I teleported away, by the way. Set block. Minecraft. Flowing water, please. Okay. Data value 0. Okay, this is not actually flowing water, it's a water source block. Data value 1. Okay, let's do this again, but summon it over there. Okay, does it get smaller with more? Yeah. Okay, then let's do 15. 15 is big one again. I think after 8 or something, they are like for falling water, when you have a water source block that falls like straight down because you moved a block below it and then remove the water. Yeah, like when water disappears that is falling vertical downwards. So 7 is pretty small. And let's see if this replaces snow, because if it does, we could melt the snow that way and have a little water animation too, which would be kind of nice. Does this destroy other stuff? Can I just use... Yeah, darn it. Destroys grass. Does it destroy saplings? Yes. Does it destroy flowers? It destroys everything. So we need to check if something is on... We need to check before we destroy the block, or before we place the water, if there's actually snow there. Which makes sense, because if it melts, we should check that anyways. So how would we do that? Good question. Let me drink a sip and I will think. And I forget to start another song. Which I probably... Actually, let's start another song. I cannot do 20 minutes of filling other music in. Okay, so what we could do... I need to stop this snow clock because... I don't want snow on all my command blocks because I need to remove it later. So actually... Switch seasons! Where is my season switcher? On the way back there. Season 3, and let's go over to 0. 1. Okay, because we are going to build it here in spring first, how the snow melts. Probably we need to end up with it in every season except for winter. But yeah, want to come up with a system that uses the smallest amount of command blocks possible. So first of all, we need something to track. Let's use an armor stand because it's super easy. People use armor stands for everything. Summon armor stand. And we won't bother making it invisible yet. Then what we need to do is spread players. No. We need to execute at all because we need our coordinates to spread to the armor stands around it. Okay, spread players. 01 false. All entities with the type of armor stand. Okay, so now we got the armor stand spreaded. Then next up, we need to execute again. Add all armor stands. And obviously, in the end, we need to like attach a score to the armor stands. Otherwise, your normal armor stands that you place do the same thing. We don't really want them teleporting away and removing snow. Doesn't make sense. But this is just for testing purposes. So execute, blah blah blah, these coordinates, then detect at the same coordinates. Who would have thought that? Minecraft snow layer with a data value of 0. Okay, and if it detects that, we need to do set block at the same position, Minecraft flowing water with a data value of 7. And replace, so we don't drop the snow. And then we need to kill all armor stands. Okay, so in theory, this should already work. My experience tells me it won't work. So we will fill a bunch of stuff here. Fill minus 10, 10. Let's do minus 10 again, because that makes more sense. Minecraft snow layer 0. Okay, got a bunch of snow. Let's stop this clock and start this one. Okay. The armor stand ends up there for some reason and doesn't get spread. It probably gets spread, but it's too fast, so I can see it, and that's always the new armor stand. But this doesn't work, right? It should replace this, because it happens 20 times a second with a civil clock. So, why doesn't it work? Probably because it doesn't work in one game tick, which doesn't make any sense. Because this here works in one game tick, like the spreading snow layers. But we got this additional detect step here, which might make the problem. So, let's move all of this one over. Dun, dun, dun. And we need to somehow track the armor sense so it doesn't happen in the same game tick. Actually, easy solution is we could move the kill over here. Doesn't work. If we remove the kill, does it work? Maybe there's a problem with my code. Apparently not. That's interesting. Why doesn't it work? Okay, spread players, blah blah blah. This works apparently. Fail to execute detector's armor stand. Why? Let's kill all armor stands. And remove both of these at the same time. Can we? Let's put this over here. Get this one. So we can easily place them back. No. Okay. Yeah, summon an armor stand. Why would I summon an armor stand? This is way faster than me typing. I'm slow typer. Okay, so this gets spread around me. Does it get spread like slightly in the air? And that's why it can't detect? This is weird. Why doesn't this work? This should work. Let's do -1. No, I did the set block -1. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to do the detect -1. Oh yeah, this works. Okay. And then we also need to do the set block -1. So we place both of these back. And then we only potentially need 4 command. Yeah, we need 5 because we need to add a scoreboard value so we can track these. But, okay, and set block -1. So this should work now? Yeah, it does. It doesn't spread the players very far, obviously, because I, for some reason, entered 0-1 here. Let's do, yeah, the first value doesn't matter because we only have 1 armor stand at the time. But let's do 20. And this melts snow with a nice water animation. Isn't this cool? It doesn't even display the armor stand, although it's not invisible. Is it too fast though? I don't know. It's probably fine, the speed, like if the snow melts relatively fast. It's also inherently random, so like once you only have very little amount of snow, it's not going to replace all that much snow. It's not going to find all that much snow because if it gets placed here, it obviously doesn't remove a snow block. So the speed is probably good for melting snow. This looks like a QR code. I don't have a smartphone. Please scan this in and see what it says. So, yeah, this could already be it. That's nice. Anyways, we are running out of time. Sorry for the derpy first episode here. Because I don't really know what I'm doing yet. Also, I wanted to show off the season system. So you can give me suggestions on how to do stuff differently or maybe cool ideas for seasons. I got a lot of ideas for seasons though, and I'm set on most of them. But anyways, you can tell me how much you enjoyed this video or this concept of doing videos this style. If you want it to be more like about command blocks, more technical basically, or more like with more progress and just, hey, maybe you should do this, and then I do that and that off camera and show you what I've come up with. So more visual or more technical. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one and bye-bye. Take care.